36, multiple shots fired at
Car 36 respond.
He told me if I didn't get the money out of my pocket right then, that the guy that was standing over there to ambush me was going to shoot me. And once I took my eyes off of him, he hit me. I ran around the car because he started yelling, shoot, 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 don't let him leave, shoot. And that's why I started shooting.
Ja'Cory Burns of Louisville is charged in the murder of 22-year-old Lonnie Oxendine.
Burns shot Oxendine outside City Center in downtown Lexington
on charges of murder and assault.
They put me on the ground, handcuffed me, and took me to the police station for interrogation. Everything was taken from me within like seconds.
Well, a trial has started for the man accused of shooting and killing an aspiring rapper in Lexington
His
last
testimony
year.
yesterday, Burns claims it was in self-defense.
The prosecution argued Burns brought a gun to a fist fight.
Whenever there's a body in a homicide, unless you're wearing a uniform, there's going to be a charge.
Today I'm sitting down with Ja'Cory Burns, a fellow USCCA member. He went through an intense self-defense incident and its legal aftermath. We'll talk about this incident and how the education, training, and self-defense liability insurance benefits in his USCCA membership helped him survive this violent encounter and the aftermath. You're definitely going to want to watch this one all the way to the end. Ja'Cory, thanks for taking the time. I want to talk about your story and we'll get right into it. Began with a dispute over money. Tell me about how this all sort of played out, the backstory a little bit before it all got started.
It started, I had through an event the night before, and the event went sour. When the event went sour, I had a lot of people approach me. As the people approached me, everybody wanted their money back. I wasn't able to give everybody their money back, and I went home. After that, once I went home, I had to go and give one of the guys their plane ticket back home that was supposed to have been performing. When I got to the hotel to give him his plane ticket to get back home, that's when this incident took place.
Yeah, so, and we're not talking about a huge amount of money. This guy that you were dealing with that ended up attacking you, he was wanting, what, $900 or something like that?
$900.
Yeah, $900.
Yes,
and that's all it took to set him off. So
yes, sir.
I've watched the video of the incident. I kind of watched what happened and how everything rolled out. And I want you to kind of talk me through this a little bit. When I'm watching this, it just looked like two guys talking in the lobby of a hotel.
Yes, sir.
And I saw you head outside and then things went really bad and all of a sudden he's punching you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what you were feeling at that moment. I mean, in the hotel, were you worried about this guy at all?
I was, because I was trying to calm this guy down because I knew his ego was in the way when he was in front of his buddies. So when he told me to come outside, I thought that was a good way to get his ego out of the way and we have a grown man conversation and then we go about it like that. And I tell him, well, if I owe you, I'll give you your money back. If I don't owe you, then I won't give you your money back. I didn't know that he had his buddy outside waiting on me to ambush me when I got there.
And from what I could see, this secondary guy and the guy who attacked you referred to his friend as the shooter. I mean, this is, when you were discussing it with the man who eventually attacked you, what was he saying that made you think, man, this is gonna go bad and I'm gonna have to defend myself?
Yeah, he told me if I didn't get the money out of my pocket right then, that the guy that was standing over there to ambush me was going to shoot me. So therefore, once I took my eyes off of him and looked at the guy that was alleged the shooter, he hit me.
Yeah.
So everything that he said and did wasn't a factor anymore. I was only worried about the shooter. So therefore, that's why I ran around the car. As you can see in the video, I ran around the car, and that's why I started shooting, because he started yelling, shoot, 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 don't let him leave, shoot.
Now I watched this video and to me it looked textbook. What kind of training did you have, if any, before this happened? Because what I saw was a man, you, taking immediate action, moving to get towards cover to put some space between.
Yes, sir.
Drawing a gun almost perfectly, and I was going frame by frame on this video and I stopped it, and the guy who attacked you, he wasn't more than 2 feet away from you when you got your gun out and
Yes, sir.
up and stopped that threat. So What were you thinking when that happened, and what sort of training or what sort of practice have you done before that?
Well, before this, 2 months before this, prior, I was going to school, classes to be a downrange officer. So I wanted to be like, teach people the safety behind guns, how to use your gun, how to pull your gun, where not to point your gun and things of that sort. So based off of that, that's where I was headed. And that's some of the training that I had, just gun safety. And when this took place, it was just instinct.
Yeah.
He was yelling and I had to map out where they were with sound. So when he was behind me, I knew I had to pull my gun and turn around and aim it at him. You know what I mean? And then once I hit him, I had to turn around and aim my gun at the shooter and not get hit.
Yeah.
So it was a lot.
We're watching this, and I see you kind of address the shooter. What were you thinking as you moved toward cover, as you hopped in your car?
I was thinking that he was going to return fire. I thought that he ran around the car to take cover to return fire, but he ran in the building, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I was in shock.
Well, yeah, and as dynamic as the situation is, he's moving and you lost sight of him.
Yes, sir.
You got to expect that.
He's coming back.
In a minute or more, in that time frame, the other guy telling him to shoot you, somebody's probably coming out to shoot you.
Yes, sir.
Now I want to talk about what might be a difficult part about this. You left the scene.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did at any time you think about, maybe I get behind this car and take cover and wait for the cops to show up? Or what was going through your mind at that point? Because it's, we tell people to make sure that they get safe. And I'm sure that's what you were thinking, was like, I got to get the hell out of here. I don't want to get shot. But what went through your mind when you decided, nope, I'm gone, I'm leaving?
I got to see everybody that was in the building. That could be potential people that's carriers. You know what I mean? So when that guy ran back to take cover behind the car, I'm like, I got to get out of here because I'm outnumbered at this point. It's 6 to 7 guys in that building. Potentially, it could be 3 to 4 guns in that building. You know what I mean? So therefore, I had to leave the situation before I had to do anything else or protect somebody else. So I had to get out of there. That was the best option for me.
You didn't immediately call 911.
Yes, sir.
And I can understand the immense stress that's going through your mind right at that point. But how did that impact you, that not calling 911? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta tell you, I was kind of frantic. I've never been in a situation like that. I was nervous. Like when you shoot your first gun, you hear that sound go off, you get nervous, and it's like, I don't want to do this right now. So I was in that state of mind. So I drove off and I got home and I'm like, maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't have. But with me not calling 911, it kind of helped me and kind of hurt me due to the simple fact of his people called 911 and they were outrageous on the phone.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, they were outrageous.
Corey just shot him for no reason.
Yeah, they were saying all kind of stuff. We shouldn't call the police. We don't call you all. So that kind of helped my case.
Who was your first call? Who did you call to get help?
I went to my girlfriend's house. I got to my girlfriend's house and I'm like, how? I got to tell my side of the story before anybody else hears their side of the story because they're going to tell it wrong. So I'm laying on the floor at my girlfriend's house, stomach hurting, frantic. So when I'm laying on the floor, it snapped to me. I'm part of the USCCA. I'm a member. These guys said they're gonna help me. Let me call them. So I called the lady and she told me, give me 2 minutes. I'll give you a call back. A minute passed by. She gave me a call back, gave me my attorney's number, which is John, good guy. Gave me his number. I called him. He told me where to meet him. I met him.
I received a call and I was told that a member was at a hotel, a Marriott in downtown Lexington, and was attacked and used deadly force as a defense, and then left the scene and was not in jail. I got to speak with the member, Jacory, within 10 minutes after that call, which was unusual. So I knew that it was important to actually have a face-to-face contact with him before he was arrested. I mean, we all expected an arrest because of the seriousness of the case.
So I want to just make sure that I got this right. You spoke with him within 10 minutes of the original call that you got from the critical response team?
Right. As soon as the critical response team called me, I got the contact information. So I had the summary, which was good, but I knew I needed to speak with my client, with the member. So I called Jacory up, and we made plans to meet immediately. We met within an hour of the phone call.
How did it make you feel to have that attorney that fast?
Something came over me to where like I'm okay. When I got to speak to him, and he just reassured me like, "You're gonna be okay, Mr. Burns." I had just came with it like, okay, I'm good, and that was it.
Yeah, and eventually it all did turn out good. That's why you're here talking with us now. Everything went well, but in the interim, now I want to get into some of the crazy stuff that happened. Okay, so before you were able to go to the police and tell your side of the story, cops found you and came to get you. Tell me about that situation.
Before I was able to go to the police and tell my story, I got to talk to my attorney, which is the best thing to do, because my attorney told me not to say anything to the police because the police can misconstrue your story if you don't tell it the same way as you told it to them in interrogation. And being in interrogation, you're nervous, so you might say something that you forget. But the police did interrogate me. They told me lies to try to get me to tell them the story and things of that sort, but I really didn't say much to them.
So now we're getting to the point where you meet with your attorney, maybe you're going to get bonded out, but it turns out you spent more than 400 days in jail.
Yes, sir.
First of all, why didn't they let you bond out?
I did 480 days in jail, and I don't know why they didn't let me bond out, because they seen the video, and the video is the reason I'm innocent today. Now I want to tell you, they said that I was the bounty hunter that killed this man.
Okay.
That's what they said, and
Yeah.
that's why they didn't release me, because he had some odd money on his head, and they said that I went to get it.
So somewhere out there, floating around in the world, is a story that there's a bounty on this guy's head and you were trying to collect it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he was charged with murder and first-degree assault, so he was looking to spend pretty much the rest of his life in prison. After the week-long trial, it was clear that the police had wrongly prosecuted Jacory. I mean, the judge apologized to Jacory, and the judge, after the verdict, which is unheard of, after a person's found not guilty and they've been in custody, they don't just say you can walk out of the courtroom. You actually have to be processed, which means you're still in custody after you're found not guilty until you're taken back to the jail and processed out. And the judge apologized to Jacory and said, I'm sorry, but you can't just leave the courtroom, but I'm going to let you just step over the bar and go into the audience and hug your family. If Jacory was just a regular defendant that didn't have the membership, didn't have those benefits, okay, I would say it had been 50-50. There's a lot of people that hire lawyers that aren't really qualified to put on an effective defense on a murder case, or lawyers that just don't have the resources to do it, okay? And Jacory had both, so he was able to present the case.
So what was it that kept you going for 480 days in jail? What gave you hope that this is going to be okay? Because that's over a year. That's sitting there. You lost that portion of your life waiting for this to work itself through the court.
Yes, sir. John, my attorney, he kept me on the straight and narrow, and my family, shout out to them, they kept me on the straight and narrow, kept my mindset good.
Did you ever imagine that you would spend a year in jail for doing the right thing?
No, sir. I never imagined I'd sit a year in jail for doing the right thing, or protecting myself, or doing what I know was right.
Yeah. How frustrating was that?
I'm gonna tell you what really hurt my feelings, and it low-key made me emotional right now. I was one semester away from graduating college, and I seen my college class go across the TV screen while I was in jail, and it hurt me. It really hurt me. So I really cried that day.
Yeah.
Because I was away I was 2 months away from being a college graduate with 2 degrees in agriculture with a minor in computer science. So that really hurt me.
So what do you think about your USCCA membership, dealing with that? You said you were laying on the floor, stomach hurting, scared, terrified, and you remember USCCA membership. Tell me what you thought about that during the entire process. How did it help? What was the best part about it?
The USCCA y'all surprised me on different spectrums, because I called John. Me and John got in contact. John was hand to hand with you all, and you all helped him get everything that he needed. When my mother called you all to figure things out, y'all were good hand to hand with her, helped her ease her mind. I just felt like I had a bike with training wheels. I didn't have to do nothing but ride.
Yeah.
Sit back for the ride.
Yeah. Tell us what you think about the legal system now that you've been through it from the side of a person who did the right thing, but still there was so much trouble with you doing the right thing. Tell us what you think about the legal system and the way things work.
I feel as if it's unfair because, like, as we all know, I'm an innocent man, and I went through the legal system, and I was treated as a murderer. You know what I mean?
How did your USCCA memberships and the membership benefit, how did that help you? Was your attorney able to get all of the things that you needed to help build your defense while you were sitting there in jail?
Yes, sir. He was definitely able to get all of my phone records and things of that sort. And he was due to the USCCA, he was able to put money on my books and help me out through my course of being incarcerated. When
you're working with the USCCA, you know that right from the start, this is a USCCA member, things are going to be a little bit easier for you dealing with it.
It's a lot easier for a lawyer that has all these resources to challenge the state's case. Normally, you have to present the client's defense based on limited resources. But with Jacory, right from the start, I could get an investigator out to look at the hotel. Now I knew from this, it's a new hotel, they weren't going to change that, but there's lots of scenes that result in that are the quote crime scenes that will change over the period of time. So you have to get out there and film, photograph, preserve it, and we're able to do that, and then also get witnesses. There was lots of witnesses that were at this event that took place before the shooting. Membership allowed us to go track these people down early, and normally a client would not have those resources to be able to get an investigator out there, and to be able to do that within 2 weeks of being retained is really almost unheard of, because very few clients can afford that.
Jacory, after everything you've been through, after this whole long process, would you have gotten through this without a USCCA membership?
No, sir. I probably would have took some time.
How are you feeling now? Now that it's behind you, how do you feel now?
I feel all right, man. I feel all right. My family's okay. I pray for his family on a day-to-day basis. And like I say, I had to do what I had to do to go home, and I sleep good at night.
Jacory Burns found himself in a situation no gun owner wants to be in. He had just fired his gun in self-defense, and there he was, laying on the floor, sick to his stomach, wondering what was going to happen next. It was at that moment Jacory remembered his USCCA membership. What he experienced next was peace, relief, and something called hope. So I want you to imagine this. What if you find yourself wondering what's going to happen next? Sure, the details might look a little bit different, but what if you're actually forced to defend yourself or your loved ones? What if you say something to the police that you shouldn't have? What if you don't have the resources to fight for your innocence? When it seemed like the whole world was against him, Jacory had help because of his USCCA membership. Within minutes of calling the 24/7 critical response team, Jacory was on the phone with the attorney that would eventually help him be cleared of all charges. Will you have help when that moment comes, or will you be on your own? A membership with the U.S. Concealed Carry Association gives you access to over $3,600 worth of self-defense education and training materials, depending on the level you choose. And every membership comes with access to self-defense liability insurance in case you ever need monetary resources to defend yourself in court. That means you are mentally, physically, and legally prepared for any threat you might face. Your self-defense liability insurance benefits begin the moment you join, and you can use the education and training resources to improve your self-defense skills. You get something no one can put a price on. You get peace of mind, knowing you're completely prepared to protect yourself and the people you love. To learn more about the USCCA and to activate your membership today, click the link below this video. You'll even find an exclusive bonus package just for people who join today. Just hurry, this bonus package won't last forever. So click the link below and arm yourself with a USCCA membership.
The USCCA is not an insurance company. A policy has been issued to the USCCA. That policy provides the association and its members with self-defense liability insurance, subject to its terms, conditions, limitations, and exclusions. Contact 1-800-674-9779 with any questions.